Are you ready to reclaim your power? In a world where oversharing has become the norm, it's time to recognize how it's silently sabotaging your happiness. Stay with me as we dive deep into why keeping your personal life private is the key to unlocking your true potential. The impact of oversharing on mental health is a silent epidemic that many of us don't even realize we are falling prey to. We live in a world where the lines between private and public have been blurred, with social media giving us a platform to share moments of our lives in real time. But what happens when this sharing crosses the boundary of what's healthy? When it becomes a compulsion, driven by validation seeking or an unconscious need for attention, it starts slowly chipping away at our mental resilience. You see, sharing too much of your personal life creates patterns of vulnerability that make you susceptible not only to external judgment but to internal doubt as well. Studies reveal that oversharing can increase feelings of anxiety and depression. Why? Because every time you lay bare your struggles, failures, or intimate moments for public consumption, you might get short-term relief through likes or comments, but long-term it can intensify feelings of loneliness and insecurity. The validation from strangers can become a damaging drug, a fleeting high that leaves you craving more exposure to feel accepted or worthy, but paradoxically, it destroys your sense of self from the inside. Take the example of countless influencers who, despite millions of followers, openly discuss their battles with depression and burnout, often triggered by the pressure to maintain an overshared, polished life online. Their mental health suffers because they are constantly putting themselves on display, inadvertently equating their value with public approval. Oversharing also removes the protective buffer we all need to process emotions privately. When you vent or disclose too many raw details publicly or even with acquaintances, you rob yourself of the chance to heal quietly and authentically. It's like tearing open a wound repeatedly instead of letting it heal beneath the surface. Research in psychology suggests that people who maintain strong boundaries and process their difficulties within trusted circles tend to have more stable mental health. Oversharing can additionally cloud your judgment, because when your struggles are in public, your focus can become scattered between managing your narrative, worrying about others' opinions, or controlling your image. This mental clutter can exacerbate stress. I want you to remember that your life's worth, your identity, isn't tied to how many people know your story. It's rooted inside you, your self-respect, and how you nurture your mind and soul. So before you hit post or start unloading your deepest struggles on anyone who asks, understand this. Oversharing doesn't just harm your external relationships or put you at risk of exploitation. It silently erodes your mental health and your ability to grow stronger in your own skin. Watch this full video because we're going to unlock how protecting your privacy is a revolutionary act of self-love, a radical step toward mental freedom and true happiness. In today's fast-paced digital landscape, the importance of setting boundaries cannot be overstated. Boundaries are not just lines drawn in the sand. They are essential frameworks that protect our emotional and mental well-being. When it comes to sharing our personal lives, establishing clear boundaries is crucial for maintaining a healthy relationship with ourselves and others. Many people underestimate the power of boundaries, often viewing them as restrictive or unwelcoming. However, in reality, they are liberating. They allow us to define what is acceptable in our interactions and what is not, creating a safe space for us to thrive. When we fail to set boundaries, we open ourselves up to a barrage of external influences that can distort our self-image and lead to emotional turmoil. For instance, consider the phenomenon of cancel culture, where individuals are publicly shamed for their mistakes or opinions. This culture thrives on oversharing, where every misstep is magnified and scrutinized. By sharing too much of our personal lives, we inadvertently invite judgment and criticism, which can be detrimental to our mental health. Setting boundaries helps us to filter out negativity and protect our emotional space. It allows us to choose who gets access to our personal stories and how much we share. Think about it. When you share your struggles with someone who is not equipped to handle that information, you risk being met with insensitivity or misunderstanding. This can lead to feelings of isolation and vulnerability, further exacerbating your mental health challenges. On the other hand, when you share with trusted friends or family members who respect your boundaries, you create a supportive environment that fosters healing and growth. Boundaries also empower us to prioritize our needs. In a world that often demands our attention and energy, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters to us. By setting boundaries around our personal lives, we can reclaim our time and focus on what brings us joy and fulfillment. For example, if you find that sharing your personal struggles on social media leaves you feeling drained, it might be time to step back and reassess your approach. Instead of broadcasting your challenges to the world, consider confiding in a close friend or seeking professional help. This shift not only protects your mental health, but also allows you to engage in more meaningful connections. Moreover, boundaries can enhance our self-esteem. When we establish limits on what we share, we send a powerful message to ourselves. Our experiences are valuable and deserve to be treated with care. This self-respect translates into greater confidence and a stronger sense of identity. When we recognize that we don't need external validation to feel worthy, we become more resilient in the face of challenges. It's essential to remember that boundaries are not about shutting people out. They are about creating a healthy space for ourselves. They allow us to engage with others on our terms, fostering relationships that are built on mutual respect and understanding. By prioritizing our mental health through boundary setting, we can cultivate a more balanced and fulfilling life. So, as you watch this video, I encourage you to reflect on your own boundaries. Are you oversharing aspects of your life that should remain private? Are you allowing others to dictate how much of yourself you reveal? It's time to take control. Embrace the power of boundaries as a tool for self-care and empowerment. By doing so, you'll not only protect your mental health, but also pave the way for deeper, more authentic connections with those who truly matter. Let's embark on this journey together and discover how setting boundaries can transform your life for the better. The importance of privacy in building self-esteem is a concept that often goes overlooked in our hyper-connected world. In an age where sharing personal milestones, achievements, and even struggles has become commonplace, many individuals fail to recognize how this constant exposure can undermine their self-worth. Privacy is not merely about keeping secrets. It is about preserving the sanctity of our inner lives and nurturing our self-esteem. When we share too much of ourselves with the world, we risk losing the essence of who we are. Our self-esteem is intricately tied to our sense of identity, and when we allow others to define us through their perceptions, we become vulnerable to their judgments. For instance, consider the impact of social media on our self-image. Platforms like Instagram and Facebook often present a curated version of reality, where individuals showcase their best moments, filtered and edited to perfection. This creates an unrealistic standard that many feel pressured to meet. When we compare ourselves to these idealized portrayals, it can lead to feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. The more we share our lives online, the more we expose ourselves to this comparison trap. Privacy acts as a protective barrier against this external scrutiny. By keeping certain aspects of our lives private, we create a space where we can cultivate our self-esteem without the influence of others. This doesn't mean we should isolate ourselves. Rather, it means we should be selective about what we share and with whom. For example, think about the moments that truly matter to you, those intimate experiences that shape your identity. Whether it's a personal achievement, a significant life change, or a moment of vulnerability, these experiences deserve to be cherished and protected. When we share them indiscriminately, we risk diluting their significance and allowing others to dictate their value. Privacy allows us to honor our experiences and build a strong foundation for our self-esteem. Moreover, maintaining privacy fosters a sense of autonomy. When we control what we share, we assert our independence and reinforce our self-worth. This autonomy is crucial for developing a positive self-image. It empowers us to define our narrative rather than allowing others to shape it for us. For instance, consider someone who has achieved a significant career milestone. If they choose to share this accomplishment with a select group of trusted friends or family, they can celebrate their success in a supportive environment. However, if they broadcast it to the world, they may inadvertently invite criticism or comparison, which can diminish the joy of their achievement. Privacy also encourages self-reflection and personal growth. When we take the time to process our experiences privately, we gain valuable insights into ourselves. This introspection allows us to understand our strengths, weaknesses, and aspirations, ultimately leading to a more robust sense of self. In contrast, When we constantly seek external validation through sharing, we may overlook the opportunity for self-discovery. It's essential to recognize that self-esteem is built from within. By prioritizing privacy, we create a nurturing environment where we can explore our thoughts and feelings without the fear of judgment. As you watch this video, I urge you to consider the role of privacy in your own life. Are you oversharing aspects of your journey that should remain sacred? Are you allowing the opinions of others to dictate your self-worth? It's time to reclaim your narrative and embrace the power of privacy. By doing so, you'll not only protect your self-esteem, but also cultivate a deeper understanding of who you are. Remember, your worth is not determined by how much you share. It is defined by the strength of your character and the authenticity of your experiences. Let's embark on this journey together, exploring how privacy can be a powerful ally in building self-esteem and fostering a more fulfilling life. The relationship between social media and the urge to overshare is a complex and often troubling dynamic that has significant implications for our mental health and well-being. In a world where platforms like Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook dominate our daily interactions, the pressure to present a curated version of our lives can be overwhelming. Social media has transformed the way we communicate, but it has also created an environment where oversharing has become the norm. The dopamine rush we experience from likes, comments, and shares can be intoxicating, leading us to seek validation through our online presence. This validation can quickly morph into a compulsion to share more and more of our personal lives, often at the expense of our mental health. Research has shown that the more time we spend on social media, the more likely we are to experience feelings of anxiety and depression. This is largely due to the constant comparison we engage in when scrolling through our feeds. We see friends, acquaintances, and even strangers showcasing their seemingly perfect lives, and it's easy to fall into the trap of believing that we must do the same. This pressure to overshare can lead to a cycle of self-doubt and insecurity. For example, consider the phenomenon of FOMO, or the fear of missing out. When we see others sharing their adventures, achievements, and intimate moments, we may feel compelled to share our own experiences, even if they don't truly resonate with us. This can lead to a distorted sense of reality, where we prioritize the appearance of a fulfilling life over genuine experiences. The urge to overshare can also stem from a desire for connection. In a world that often feels isolating, sharing our personal lives can create a sense of belonging. However, this connection is often superficial and fleeting. When we rely on social media for validation, we risk sacrificing deeper, more meaningful relationships. Authentic connections are built on trust and vulnerability, not on a number of likes we receive on a post. By oversharing, we may inadvertently dilute the quality of our relationships as we prioritize quantity over depth. Moreover, the permanence of social media can have lasting consequences. Once something is shared online, it can be challenging to take it back. This can lead to feelings of regret and anxiety, especially if we share something too personal or sensitive. The fear of being judged or misunderstood can create a barrier to authentic self-expression, further exacerbating our mental health struggles. It's essential to recognize that social media is a tool, and like any tool, it can be used for both positive and negative purposes. While it can foster connection and community, it can also perpetuate a culture of oversharing that harms our mental health. As you watch this video, I encourage you to reflect on your own relationship with social media. Are you using it as a tool for genuine connection, or are you caught in the cycle of oversharing for validation? It's time to take a step back and reassess how we engage with these platforms. By setting boundaries around our social media use and being mindful of what we share, we can reclaim our mental health and foster more meaningful connections. Remember, your worth is not defined by your online presence. It is rooted in your authentic self. Let's explore together how we can navigate the complexities of social media and find a healthier balance that prioritizes our well-being over the urge to overshare. Cultivating a more private life is not just a personal choice. It is a powerful strategy for enhancing our overall well-being and mental health. In a society that often glorifies transparency and openness, the idea of privacy can feel counterintuitive. However, Embracing privacy can lead to profound benefits that allow us to thrive in a world that constantly demands our attention and energy. The first step in cultivating a more private life is recognizing the value of solitude. Solitude is not synonymous with loneliness. Rather, it is an opportunity for self-reflection and personal growth. When we take the time to step back from the noise of the world, we create space for introspection. This introspection allows us to connect with our thoughts, feelings, and aspirations on a deeper level. For instance, consider the practice of journaling. By writing down our thoughts and experiences privately, we can process our emotions and gain clarity about our lives. This practice not only enhances our self-awareness, but also fosters a sense of empowerment. When we take ownership of our narratives, we build resilience and confidence. Another essential aspect of cultivating privacy is setting boundaries in our relationships. It's crucial to communicate our needs and establish limits on what we are comfortable sharing. This doesn't mean shutting people out. Rather, it means creating a safe space where we can engage in meaningful conversations without the pressure to overshare. For example, if you find that discussing your personal struggles with acquaintances leaves you feeling exposed, consider confiding in a trusted friend or therapist instead. This shift allows you to process your emotions in a supportive environment, fostering deeper connections based on trust and understanding. Additionally, embracing privacy can enhance our creativity and productivity. When we are constantly bombarded with external opinions and distractions, it can be challenging to focus on our passions and goals. By cultivating a more private life, we create an environment that nurtures our creativity. This might mean setting aside dedicated time for personal projects, free from the influence of social media or external validation. For instance, many successful artists and writers credit their ability to create meaningful work to periods of solitude and privacy. By removing distractions, they can tap into their inner voice and produce work that resonates with their authentic selves. Furthermore, cultivating privacy allows us to prioritize our mental health. In a world that often glorifies busyness and constant connectivity, taking a step back can be a radical act of self-care. It's essential to recognize that we don't owe anyone an explanation for our choices. By prioritizing our well-being, we send a powerful message to ourselves: our mental health matters. This shift in mindset can lead to greater self-acceptance and a more positive self-image. As you watch this video, I encourage you to reflect on your own relationship with privacy. Are you oversharing aspects of your life that should remain sacred? Are you allowing the demands of the outside world to dictate your choices? It's time to reclaim your narrative and embrace the power of privacy. By doing so, you'll not only protect your mental health, but also cultivate a deeper understanding of who you are. Remember, your worth is not determined by how much you share. It is defined by the strength of your character and the authenticity of your experiences. Let's embark on this journey together, exploring how cultivating a more private life can lead to greater fulfillment, creativity, and mental well-being. Embrace the beauty of privacy and watch as it transforms your life for the better. The impact of oversharing on mental health. Oversharing can lead to increased anxiety and depression as individuals seek validation through public exposure. This behavior can create patterns of vulnerability, making one susceptible to external judgment and internal doubt, ultimately harming mental resilience. Boundaries. Protecting your personal space. Setting boundaries is essential for maintaining emotional well-being. By controlling what we share and with whom, we can filter out negativity and prioritize our needs, fostering deeper, more meaningful relationships while protecting our mental health. The importance of privacy in building self-esteem. Privacy allows individuals to honor their experiences and cultivate self-esteem without external influence. By maintaining certain aspects of life as private, we assert our independence and create a nurturing environment for self-discovery and personal growth. How social media fuels the urge to share. Social media can create pressure to overshare, leading to feelings of inadequacy and anxiety. The constant comparison to curated online personas can distort our self-image, making it crucial to set boundaries around social media use to protect mental health. Strategies for cultivating a more private life. Embracing privacy is a powerful strategy for enhancing well-being. By prioritizing solitude, setting boundaries, and focusing on personal growth, Individuals can reclaim their narratives, foster creativity, and protect their mental health in a world that often demands constant sharing.